Alright, I didn't expect that song to loop. That song wasn't supposed to loop. I'm going to apparently have to... He is trying to get in the middle of the day. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Oh, Cindy's here? Good God, I know it's late there, Cindy, or it's like real early in the morning. How you doing, Gustavo? Cindy, Rainbow Bright, True Crime, Aria, welcome. Tetra, Amber Chick, Chelsea, Skip, King Quinn, Adele, Nana Hawk. How y'all doing? And it's AWOL. How you doing? Vic is in the building. Good, good, good. Oh, it's 9 a.m.? See, I think it should be against the law to wake up before, like, 11. I hate mornings. I am not a morning person at all. So how are y'all doing? Are we doing good? Have we survived Twitter? Because, my God. Woo! Twitter in the last few days. And it's blowing up again right now over something totally different. You got the Here for the Tea coming for Allie. And I'm like, oh, Lord, we literally are hours past the other situation. Now we got this situation. There's another side situation. I'm like, oh, Lord, have mercy. It's just, it's never ending. Schminna, baby. Yes, Diet Mountain Dew. Of course, as always. You know, do you know studies have shown waking up earlier than 10 a.m. is on the same level as torturing the human body? And I feel that every single morning that I have to wake up for work. Just letting you know. Let's put it this way. My coworkers know. Don't talk to me before I finish my coffee. Oh yeah, there's some new drama going on. Allie did a video on some kind of lawsuit, or going to be a lawsuit, or something between Here for the Tea and Trend Mood. And Here for the Tea got upset because of the shit that happened to her. Was it last year that it happened to her? And Allie showed her picture, and woo! I have a friend of mine on Twitter that's blocked by everybody. So me and my other friend had to sit there and show her screenshots what's going on. Thank God it wasn't Threads. I'd still be screenshotting right now and not being on this live. So, it's a mess. And I am sitting here like, okay. All right. Can we ban Christmas parties? Well, I mean, listen, I tell people all the time, I am made for this life. I am made for this life of not seeing people. I have trained for this pandemic life. I'm a gamer. I'd much rather sit in front of my Xbox or my computer and, you know, not be around people. This is as close as I want to be to people. Like right here, what we're doing right now. I was made for this life. Everybody's complaining, I can't go outside. I can't go to parties. I can't go to bars. I'm just sitting here like, what's up, guys? Welcome to my world. It really isn't that bad. I have no clue what's going on with that witch's brew. I'm done with Bruce Allen. I'm done with the biasness. I don't, if there's shit going on with Bruce Allen, I have no idea. To be honest with you. I haven't heard about that. Because I'm going to be for real with y'all. I kind of tend, if y'all haven't noticed from my content, I tend to stay away from that side of YouTube. I'm concentrating more on another side of YouTube and gaming. I tend to shift. I'm not over here. I'm not over here. I'm over here. So I don't know what's going on with that, to be honest. I like it now. I was upset at first. Wait, you like what now? Oh, you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about the whole pandemic thing, Tetra. Bruce Allen is a drama commentary channel. He usually, I don't know, I kind of look at him like an archive channel because what he'll do is he'll go through tweets and showing you what's going on with tweets and stuff like that. He's kind of like that side of YouTube's Bo Blacks in the sense of not like what we would think of Bo Blacks, but in the sense of an archive channel. As far as like showing tweets, reading tweets, stuff like that. What did Quinn say? Quinn. Oh, see, I have no idea what's going on, Bruce. Y'all gonna have to fill me in on that one somewhere, sometime, because I have no idea. The hell's going on with Bruce? I'm fine. I mean, granted, I don't want what's going on in the world right now, the pandemic. I don't want it like killing people or not. I'm just talking about, when I say that, I'm talking about like, I don't mind staying at home, to be for real. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want anybody to mince or twist my words or anything like that, because God knows I don't want people getting hurt. AWOL's like, not today. I feel like that every day. I have no idea. Really quick, tell me what did Bruce Allen do? Like, real quick. So we can start this. Because I have no idea. Yeah, I'm a homebody. I can't help it. Lord, I feel like Witch's Brew is like really typing something long. But yes, Skip said it. Oh, where does Skip say it? Messi never sleeps on Twitter. That's the damn truth. I don't think he did anything. I think they're just saying he's boring and biased, but I'm not sure. Oh, well, I mean, I get it. He aligns heavy with Rich, Nick, Dustin, and that mean girl. Well, I do. Now, I don't know how close he is with Rich. All right, that part I don't know, but I know he's. I believe he's friends with Nick and Dustin. So yeah, I get what you're saying. So yeah, well, everybody's got to have a friend. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I get you, Witch's Brew. I totally 100% get you. Witch's Brew, like, okay, I'm done. I'll drop it. But yeah, I totally, I get what you're saying. And that is a definite, I mean, that's a personal choice. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I know this much, you know, the interaction I've had with Bruce, he's always been very friendly to me. When I caught that shit from Keemstar, he came into my DMs, was like, look, you know, checking up, making sure I was okay. Because I guess he was in that live. I think he was either in that live or he heard about that live or something. But, you know, he was real supportive with that Keemstar stuff. And, you know, he's been nice to me, so I can't, you know. But I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm definitely, I get what you're saying. Absolutely. Oh, Schminna. Oh, good old Rich Lux. Good old Rich Lux. Well, that's another conversation for another day, but I do have one or two examples in my lives of why. So, yeah. Good old Rich Lux. There's videos out there. Let's just put it that way. So, alright. So, remember that live that I did? Oh, of course, now my ADHD wants to kick in, and I can't think of her name. Yvonne. Remember I was talking about, and I called it Yvonne's story? And I said that I wasn't going to do the Pokimane and Fedmyster story because I felt like Shmina, baby, Vickens, I was like, oh, thank you. And I said I wasn't going to do that story because I felt like it overlapped Yvonne's story, and it completely just got pushed off to the side. Well, there was a story that actually completely got buried. I mean, it completely got buried. I did not know about this story until I heard it from Tipster. And Tipster did the story on it. I put it up. I'm going to actually put it in the description box below when I'm done with this and I add everything. He did a really good video on it. I can't believe, like, this story, and it's worse. It's actually worse what he did. And I just cannot believe that it was just completely pushed to the side. Even by Pokimane and everyone else, she didn't even say anything about this. When this stuff came back up, she didn't even say anything about this story. And it was worse. It was worse. So, I want her to be able to tell her story, and I want us to react to it and see what's going on there. Alright, Skip, what'd you say? I'd rather know a bias up front and base my decision on that than have a schemer behind the scenes, manipulators, find out months and months down the road that they aren't worth a damn. Yep, that's true, Skip. I 100% agree with you there. I 100% agree with you there. Alright. Now, once again, y'all know how I roll. We're not going to call anybody out of their names. Okay? And going to keep it respectful. I'm going to try to keep it as respectful as I can. It's just, you know, how this thing goes around, you know, your audience said it in your live, blah, 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 blah. I'd rather take the heat from what I said out of my mouth, you know. So, alright, so, this was, pause it. This was July 1st, 2020. Again, it was the same time. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Alright, it was the same time that, again, the Me Too movement was happening on Twitter. We were seeing a bunch of allegations, and it was just a crazy time for the gaming world during this. She did a stream, and somebody clipped it, and she told her story about Fedmyster. She's not in that house. She's in a different house. And, oh yeah, it's no problem, Skip. And this completely got swept under the rug. Like, literally swept under the rug. It's absolutely ridiculous. Alright. Let's go to 1.25. Go full screen with the bad boy.
For the past years, I've kept personal issues out of the public's eye for the most part. The concept of speaking about private matters to me on the internet was and still...
Alright, let me know if that's loud enough for y'all. I just want to make sure, because I've noticed by listening to my videos back that it's a little bit too loud. But if I'll raise the volume up if I need to. Okay. Alright, I just want to make sure. It's good. Alright. I just want to make sure. I'm trying to... I have to level things out because I automatically speak really loud. I can't help it. I've been like this since birth. So I need to adjust things. And when I go to listen back to it, I was like, oh no. And, you know, so I'm just trying to make things better for y'all. Yes, he is gross. He is gross. And it's actually made some of the commentary people go from defending him to like, what the fuck, dude? So here we go. What's up, Drama Parody? How you doing, Malia?
It is very hard for me to fathom. However, I felt it was my duty to speak on my behalf in this situation. So, excuse me if I get a bit emotional or if I blunder. This is really new for me, but yeah, it's actually very strange. It's really strange. Anyway, I'm gonna preface this by saying that some things will seem like I'm blaming Fed for certain outcomes when that's not the case. In reality, the reality of the situation is that it was ultimately an accumulation of many things. However, I'm going to highlight some certain situations where I did feel like Fed did have a big part or influence in the outcomes. To give you guys context, Hobbs, stop working! Shh! I feel like he can sense my nervousness. I don't know. Anyways, okay.
She's nervous during this whole thing. Like, she's not comfortable talking about this whole thing.
Hobbs, stop working! I'm doing something important right now! Okay, let's let him calm down for a second. Okay. So to get... Okay. Let's just start over. Anyway. So to give you guys a little bit of context of myself in my own life, I was really inexperienced with guys, romantically, before meeting Fed. As many of you guys already know, the inexperience was not a meme, it was real. My entire life, I'd immediately shrug off physical advances or flirtatious behavior. I remember being comfortable confronting guys about their behavior, especially if it was towards my girlfriends. So I was always comfortable telling guys to back off. I was always comfortable. When I saw a guy imposing on a girl or my girlfriends that I wasn't okay with, that they weren't okay with, then I had no problem calling them out alone in front of everyone, blasting them. I had no problem. I was the girl everyone could rely on, and I prided myself on that. In high school, my girlfriend's parents would call me. Like, literally, my girlfriend's parents would call me to make sure that their daughters were okay. Like, I was like that one girl in high school who was like super chill with like all the parents, all my girls' parents. Okay.
And that goes to show you, it's like, you can be the big defender when it's not you, but then that doesn't mean that you're going to have that same energy when it's done to you. Okay? There's a difference between sticking up for someone and then basically sticking up for yourself. And yes, she is gorgeous. Is she not? And I'm loving that hoodie, not going to lie. But she is absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, and she's very uncomfortable. Very.
Okay, so let's begin with my story, with my experience. So one of the first times I met Fed, I remember sitting next to him at a table filled with friends and coworkers. We were having a dinner together. I didn't really know him at this time. I think it was literally just like a big table of like streamers. My manager was there. My agent was there at the time. It was just like a big party. It was a big dinner of like people, streamers, whatever, just to hang out and stuff. And Fed was sitting next to me. I didn't really talk to him much at this point, but he would engage in conversation with me, which I thought was really nice. But then throughout the things that he would tell me, like throughout the things that he would say, he would make excuses to touch me. Oh, sorry, I motioned here, but it wasn't here. He would touch me on my arm, he would touch me on my waist, he would touch me on my legs, casually, in between his sentences. At the time, I honestly was kind of...
So from the time he met her, he was already pushing to see where he can go. You know what, Witch's Brew? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Witch's Brew said, I heard often that people don't like her, and I never knew why. She does seem sweet. I can say this, she seems very nervous. Excuse me. She seems very nervous on what she's talking about. And I mean, you can't blame her. You know? Yes, Shmena, that's testing boundaries. Yes. Yes. All right, let's keep going. So she just met him. They were at a dinner. There was her coworkers, which are streamers. I think this was the Just Friends house. Because remember how they kept saying when he would go to the Just Friends house? I think this is the Just Friends house, but I'm not 100% sure. So wherever she's at, it's with her coworkers, and her manager was there and stuff like that. And you know what, Chelsea? That could be it. It could be because of that. You know, because women aren't supposed to be bossy. They're not supposed to be bossy, bitchy, diva, nothing like that. You know, women aren't supposed to be like that. All right, so let's go.
I know weirded out, but I was still an adult, and
her arm, her leg, and her waist drama parody.
Went to college, I dealt with many guys, went to clubs, so I knew how to like handle the situation at the time. I told him to stop, and I told him to stop touching me. We kind of memed about it afterward.
Yes, TCS, and you know the sad part is I have seen comments about this video, and it's men saying it. It's men saying it going, well, she was laughing and giggling the whole time. Dude, do you not know what nervous laughter looks like? Look at her face. She's nervous as hell. Look at her body language. But the only thing you can get out of that is how she was laughing and Are you serious? Are you serious?
Words, but like, yeah, anyways. Kind of like, this basically set the tone for the rest of my years with Fed. Fed would push my boundaries, and I'd push him away. Eventually, he'd flirt and push my boundaries in front of our friends. And then I'd like yell at him or like swat him away. I'd be like, Fed, what the fuck? Like, stop. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't touch me. Like, what do you mean? You know, it was kind of like our dynamic of he would push my boundaries and I would like push him away, you know? And people eventually started to like laugh at our dynamic. Our friend group started to laugh at our dynamic. All the most important people in my life would like message me saying, you and Fed have such a fun dynamic. And I'm like, oh, shoot, like kind of like in almost a comical way. I also came to believe that this was like just our dynamic. I'm sure you can find like dozens of clips online.
And it's like the other girl said, it's just Fed. It's just Fedmyster. Drama parody. That happened to me at a bar when I was 21. Some old man was rubbing my leg like the fuck. The bartender threw him out. Hell yeah. What the fuck kind of friendly conversation involves leg touching? And even though nervous laughing, she asked to stop. Exactly. Exactly.
Of these interactions between me and Fed. And this is also kind of how like our ship name, Femi, was born. If you guys remember Femi, like Fed plus Kimmy is Femi, you know? Thinking back now, I was actually like genuinely never 100% comfortable with his boundary pushing, but anyway. He would show me and... Sorry, I'm like... Okay. I feel like I'm getting distracted hearing like my housemates right now, like just talking and stuff, and I'm just getting distracted right now. Okay. Okay, Kimmy, just read your points. Okay. 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 He would show me an incredible amount of attention and affection, reaching out when I'd post a sad tweet, hearing me out when I'd be vulnerable, and reassuring me that he will always be there for me. I remember confiding in him about kind of everything I was vulnerable at the time. I remember saying I was struggling with my friendships and also struggling with my stream. I actually looked over some of our early conversations today to make sure that I was recollecting things correctly, and I felt myself reading back our DMs and chat logs with like a lot of fondness. So it felt like I was very special to him, and it felt like it just felt like I was really special. And
he did that with every single one of them. Every single one of them. But it's funny because you're going to hear later on how he acted around her, around Pokimane. Two words. Predatory behavior. 2 words. Predatory behavior. Tracy Wong, I went through what she did when I was younger with the guy crossing boundaries and people around me thinking it's cute and I'm overreaching. Yep. It always seems to be that way, right? Oh, you're just being sensitive. Oh, stop. He's not doing anything. Oh, stop. He's not touching your boobs, your butt, or your no-no part, so it doesn't matter. He can touch anywhere as long as it's not that. Yes, Shmena, it is. Shmena said it's so fucking sad to hear that we all know men like this. Absolutely. It is. It is.
I felt like he was really special too in my life. But just as easily, I wouldn't hear from him for days, weeks, months, since he would...
True, TCS knows. TCS just said, this one made everyone take back what they said. I ain't touching this one. It did. It did. And I said it the last story. I believe, I know I said it outside of the live. I can't remember if I said it in the live. There's going to be more stories. And I hope there's even more stories. Because I'm telling you now, I would not be surprised if I heard more women coming out about Fedmyster. I'm going to be for real. I would not be surprised if more women came out about him. We should be flattered like, no, it's uninvited attention. Exactly, Tracy, exactly. I've heard this line before. He's popular. You should be glad he's showing interest. Yes. Yeah, Nancy. Yeah, exactly, TCS. I hope there isn't more. Me too. I hope there isn't. But I won't be shocked if they do. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's keep going.
Opened up to me a lot. He would be vulnerable to me and open up to me. I assumed it was because of his stress. I assumed it was because of his past trauma he's still trying to work through. I assumed it was because of his ADHD. I always kind of made excuses in my mind, just to justify the fact that, just to ignore the fact that I felt, at the end of the day, ashamed, that I felt really sad that I was being ghosted by somebody who I thought was really special to me, and by somebody who I thought I was very special to. During these periods of ghosting, I would see him make a lot of content with my friends, and I would like rarely be invited to these streams and stuff. Like, I remember being too prideful at the time to be ashamed, but then eventually he would find his way back, and he would open up to me again, be vulnerable with me again, and I would end up comforting him.
He absolutely used her, and he knew, he banked on the fact, oh, I can ignore her, do other shit, because she'll always be right there. He literally took advantage of her emotionally. I know that's white which is brew. I got to a fundraiser each year, and last year a girl I know, drunkenly newly divorced, father made unwanted advancements to me. The chef of the function had to set the guy straight. I know that's right. Chelsea says that's called trauma bonding. Oh, I did not know that. Okay. Well, I just learned something new. I've never heard that before. I've never heard of that before. That's good to know. I'm gonna look that up so I can get a pure definition for it. Yeah, but it makes sense. It makes sense because that's exactly what he's doing to her. He's ghosting her. He's playing with her friends, leaving her out, and then he's going back to the situation and opening up to her. Yeah, it makes sense.
And I couldn't really seem to fault him for anything. I remember Fed would come over to Just Friend's house a lot. We'd honestly just watch anime.
Okay, that is Just Friend's house. So, in the Fedmyster Pokimane story, there was, and this, I swear to God, this pisses me off. The complaint was from Pokimane that Fedmyster would go hang out at the Just Friend's house and talk shit on her. He was over there harassing another girl. Or, excuse me, woman. He's over there harassing another woman. Talking about his problems to the guys, but he was harassing another woman. And Pokimane didn't have the balls that she wants to bring up Yvonne's story again. Why not AngelsKimmi? Why not her story? Because she was in the house, but you were complaining he was going to. Seriously. Vic says, unfortunately, this appears to be the negative product of boys will be boys mindset. Men will be handsy, and it's supposed to be okay? Exactly. Exactly. Is it supposed to, boys will be boys? Boys get kicked in the balls in Minecraft.
Anime, keep each other company, chill on the couch, chill on the sofa, Jamie's room, anywhere. He would come over and we just chill. A lot of times I saw him on his phone. He was very stressed out. He didn't really verbalize a lot of things that were happening in his life, but he would just sit there very stressed out, and he would block me out. Whenever I tried to talk to him, not all the time, but when I would try to talk to him, he would flat out just ignore me. And when it was literally just like me and him in the room together, like he would just ignore me. And I remember just feeling like very confused. Eventually he'd inch closer to me and he put his head on my shoulder and then my lap, and he'd fall asleep. He'd do this in front of everyone, so he wasn't like hiding the fact that he was like getting physically comfortable with me. Although I wasn't really reciprocating at all. He would often put his head on my shoulder, he'd often put his head on my lap, and I never did the same to him, but regardless, that happened. I guess
testing his boundaries. Testing his boundaries. You know what really pisses me off? Pokimane was leading on Fed. Okay? You clearly saw that. Was Pokimane pissed off that he was going to the Just Friend's house talking shit on her? Or was she pissed off that she wasn't the only woman getting his attention, and that's why she didn't bring up AngelsKimi's story? Is that the reason why? Is that the real reason why Pokimane was getting upset? Think about it. Think about it. Is that it's a good question. Because Pokimane did love the fact that Fed was right up her ass. She is beautiful, isn't she, Adele? Pokimane loved the fact that Fed was right up her ass. Was she really mad that he was going to the Just Friend's house because she knew what was happening? That he was hitting on Angel? He was hitting on Kimmy? Is that the real reason why she was mad? Because Pokimane's vain as hell. She's vain. I don't care what anybody says. She's vain as hell. So, I'm just saying.
Problem I had was that he would do this in front of everyone except for select people. One of them being Amon or Pokey. So it made me very confused why he would suddenly be very intimate with me, put his head on my shoulder, even flirt with me, like lock eyes for long periods of times, give me a lot of attention. If that was strictly as friends, that would have been okay. That I would have been like, okay, maybe that's just how Fed is as a friend. I don't know, maybe it is. But the fact that he didn't do any of that stuff, as soon as, for example, Pokey entered the room, that made me so confused. Like, I just remember being like, what the heck? Like, what the heck? And then I remember it made me...
So he wouldn't do it. He would practically ignore her when Pokey was around. I don't know. It seems mighty suspicious to me that when Pokimane is trying to bury Fed when that first, because God knows we ended up with 1,000 Google Docs over this, but when that first story, when Fed's statement got leaked, when that first story got leaked, here comes Pokimane. She wants to bury him. She never mentions Kimmy. He would stop doing what he was doing with Kimmy in front of Pokimane. Kimmy was in the Just Friends house. Pokimane was talking about how he would go to the Just Friends house and she would be pissed because he would go to the Just Friends house and talk shit on her. Was it because of the talking shit or was it because of Kimmy? Because Pokimane loved the attention she was getting from Fed. She loved the attention she was getting from Fed. So is that the reason why Pokimane did not put her story out there? Is that why Kimmy's story isn't out there? Because this has been completely buried. I didn't know anything about this until I saw Tipster upload. I'm like, what? What is this? And even in somebody else mentioned it somewhere, and even Diorio was like, dude, I was so pissed when I saw this. It's like it got swept under the rug. You didn't miss much yet. You haven't missed the big part yet. Basically, Quinn, what you did miss was Fed would act all the way he would act with her until Pokimane would come into the room and then he would stop. He would never do it in front of Pokimane. Basically.
Me feel like I was allowing him to do something behind her back, which made me feel like an awfully terrible person. And that was a big reason why I shut myself in a lot. I couldn't really get myself to open up to her or anyone. I remember I would go to offline TV and Fed would ignore my presence in the entire room. In the entire group of people, Fed would ignore my presence. When every day we'd be like talking, chilling, hanging out, and then like we'd be in a group of people and he'd like ignore me. But then after the get-together was over, he would go to his room and then sometimes he would text me to come meet him in his room.
He treated her like she was the side chick. He literally treated her like she was the side chick because he's such a chick magnet. He literally treated her like a side chick. Literally.
And then, so I would go. I thought I was being a good friend, whatever. And he would be laying in his bed, like very stressed out, and I would comfort him. And I guess that just happened again and again and again and again and again. I hear Hobbs and my roommate running everywhere right now. Okay. There are... I ended up watching everyone's statements, just to get a general... I didn't want to repeat myself. I didn't want to make this too long. I want to know what you guys know. I'm going to assume you guys all saw their statements too, so I'm not going to repeat myself too much. I think you guys pretty much know that he had this ability to make us feel very comfortable around him. Okay, now let's fast forward a little bit to 2 specific instances that I remember where I felt very...
Okay, so get ready to be pissed off. Get ready to be pissed off, because this is where I get pissed off in this video.
Very uncomfortable. And I actually barely opened up about this to anyone until Pokey reached out to me like a week ago, and she prodded for information. She's like...
So Pokey knew. Pokimane knew. Pokimane went to Kimmy because she knew. So why? Why didn't she mention that when she tried to bury him a second time? Why? Why didn't she mention that?
Like, hey, do you have any experiences with Fed, by the way? And I was like, well, come to think of it, I might have something. And then I'm like, well, there are 2 things that happen in particular. And then she's like, can you tell them to me? And I'm like, I'd really rather not. You know, it was a long time ago, whatever. And she's like, no, I think I would really appreciate it if you told me. And I'm like, frick, okay. And then I told her, and I guess the response I got was different than what I thought. She was really sad for me. She's like, dude, why do you keep it in this whole time? I don't know. So I guess I'll just say them now. The first experience was when he came over to my apartment one night when I lived alone. We just chilled and watched shows. I honestly don't remember what show we watched, if it was this night, but I do remember it was one of the times he came over. He put on Sex Education, and I think he was just playing off of me being super uncomfortable with that stuff. But if I'm being uncomfortable with it, it probably means I'm uncomfortable with it anyway, whatever. So he put on some show like that, and then he and then another time, I'm not sure if this was the same night, but another time in my apartment alone, he casually told me his porn preferences. So, I mean, I get it, friends.
Dude, if you're my friend, male, female, I don't care what your gender is. I do not need to know your porn preferences. I'm letting all y'all know right now. I don't need to know y'all porn preferences. I don't need y'all to tell me your porn preferences. I don't care what your kinks are. You leave that shit to yourself, okay? So big warning. I don't want to know what you watch. I don't care. I don't care. That is a little bit too TMI for me, okay? I'm just saying. What's up, Tor? I am just saying, I do not need, Vic, I don't need to know the gross stuff you watch, okay? Because I'm pretty sure you watch some gross stuff. But that's okay. I don't need to know what it is. I don't need to know what it is, okay? No. No. I don't need to know it. Hell no. Vic... Vic, I hate you. I hate you. It's skipped right, get out.
Do that. I just thought that was people, I'm the last one that people tell their porn preferences to be honest. So I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Anyway, he, after hanging out, he didn't want to go back to offline TV. I have like a really OP couch. It's really comfortable. Janet slept on there for months. Like I've slept on that couch for months. Like I love that couch. I love when people stay over because they have that couch. So I'm like, okay, I'm chill if you sleep on the couch. So I came out of my bathroom after like washing up and everything, and I saw him in my bed. And prior to this, I don't think Fed and I have ever shared a bed together. One time I slept over at Yvonne's house, and Fed squeezed himself on Yvonne's bed, so it was me, Yvonne, and Fed, and he fell asleep. So that was probably the only time we shared a bed, I think. So he was I walked out of my bathroom and I see Fed, and I'm like, Fed, what are you doing? And he's like, come here, like, let's cuddle. And I looked at him and I'm like, what the fuck? No. And he was like, no, come on.
Fed loves the cuddle. Just saying.
Let's cuddle. And he's like, it's not that big of a deal, let's just cuddle. And I clearly remember saying no. I clearly remember being uncomfortable with this. I don't cuddle with my guy friends, and I never have in my life cuddled with a guy friend before. Ever. I barely even cuddled with the guys I dated at that point. I never had any serious relationships. I just never found anyone to date seriously. Anyway, that's a story for another time. So I remember being very uncomfortable and saying no, and he eventually was very insistent, and so we cuddled.
Okay, and what's the saying? What's the saying, ladies and gentlemen? No means no, right? No means no. Skip. Weinstein liked the cuddle too, yeah? I feel like I should take a shower with bleach. Yeah, Tracy, it gets worse. It gets worse.
I was little spoon, he was big spoon. It was extremely awkward. I hated it. We never did it again. I talked to him on the phone a few days ago, or the other day, last night, I forgot. Very, very recently. Let me check. Yesterday. It was yesterday. We called yesterday. Wow. It just feels like days are so long these days. Okay, anyway. So we talked on the phone yesterday. I told him about that experience, and he told me that he genuinely doesn't remember me saying no.
And that's another thing about Fed. He always seems to not remember anything, but then all of a sudden he seems to remember it. That's another thing about Fed I noticed. He has a tendency to forget things. Oh yeah, they ended up kicking him out of that house.
And I kind of believe him. A part of me believes that he truly doesn't remember me saying no, because he's done this so many times with other girls.
There you have it.
All I know is that was the first time that's ever happened to me, and that was what I remember. I don't know. The second situation was in Jamie's room. I was lying on Jamie's bed with two other girls. We were like squeezed, it was like Celine or somebody else there, and then like I was like up here in front, just like with my knees up. Smoothie, or Andy I believe, was in the office chair. I'm not sure who else is there. It was in the Just Friends room, and the lights were off or dimmed, and we were just like vibing to music, just chilling, chatting. I don't know, it was just like a night where we were all just like vibing in Jamie's room. So Fed comes in the door, and I'm laying down. If I can like picture this for you guys, like the bed is like this, the pillow's here, and then I think like one girl was like here, and I just remember laying down here at the bottom left corner with my knees up. Anyway, so then Fed comes in the room, and he wants to lay down too. He sits on the bed, he wants to lay down, and then this is so strange for me to talk about on the internet. Oh my god. Anyway, this is so weird. He opened my legs and put his head on my crotch. I was wearing pants and everything, like, that just never happened to me before. And then...
So, Mr. Fed, being just Fed, opened up her legs and put his head on her crotch. She's fully clothed, but he felt comfortable enough to open up her legs and put his head on her crotch. Yes. He opened up her legs because she was just chilling, had her knees up. You know, you're just like laying on the bed with girlfriends and just listening to music. They said they had the lights dim. They were listening to music, just vibing out. Fed goes from sitting on the bed to opening her legs and putting his head on her crotch. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, and by the way, this is another verified person on Twitter. FYI.
I remember being so overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do. I was laying there, and I was in a group of people, my friends, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. And I was just laying there, and then he takes my ankle and puts it on his groin. I said that really casually because it was really hard to say.
So then he takes her ankle and puts it on his groin. He literally takes her ankle, and puts it on his groin. Yeah, I think, because Repzilla, that's where it first came up. Repzilla brought it to Edward's Generation's attention in a live stream. Oh, wait till you hear people's responses when she goes to tell them. Oh, just wait.
Anyway, that only lasted for like a split second because I immediately moved my foot off because I was not okay with that. And that moment was the moment that that was the moment. That was the moment that was the moment that really like shook me a lot. I remember being really upset about this and telling some friends, none of which really were surprised. They were shocked. They were like, oh, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Like, oh man, that's uncomfortable. But no one was surprised.
No one was surprised. Do you know what that means? That means they already knew how Fed was. That means that he was protected the whole time. Oh, I feel sorry for you, but I'm not surprised. Yeah, I think he was too, King Quinn. I'm not surprised. He felt too damn comfortable pulling this crap. Well, you know what? He was made to feel too fucking comfortable to pull this shit. It's ridiculous. Skip, workplace sexual harassment lawsuit, here I come. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous how this got swept under the rug. I'm going to be honest, I feel dumb for not finding it before now. Because hers is the worst one. Like, literally, hers is the worst one. Her story is the one that some commentators out there, I'm not going to name any names, Not going to go into details. It doesn't matter the detail of who. But thank you. I can't see it right now because of my screen, but I appreciate it. But her story made people change up how they talked about Fed. Because this story was swept under the rug. When he did his apology, where's Kimi's apology? Where's her apology? I want to know her. I want to hear her apology. I want to hear you apologize. And when I say her apology, as in your apology to her. Where is the apology to her? Where are you seeking help for what you did to her? Because you didn't even mention her. Where is it? Because this is by far the worst one. And as a woman, I'm going to be very honest with you. As a woman, if you had the balls to do that, what stops you from going even further? What stops you from going even further? And to think, you're fucking verified on Twitter. Are you serious? It's absolutely disgusting. I said in Yvonne's story that you're out there seeking help and I don't want you to be deplatformed, and I feel sorry for you, and I wanted you to come back to streaming. I personally take all that back. I personally take all that back. Because this here shows you're serial with it. You are a serial sexual harasser. And sometimes, my opinion and my opinion only, and opinions aren't facts, but sometimes people get tired of just harassing and they move into the next step. I don't want you on the platform. Period. And I doubt very seriously you're ever going to see this video. But if you do, just know, don't take what I said in Yvonne's story serious. Because I'm telling you now, I'm taking all that back. I'm taking it all back. I am taking it all back. I'm taking it. I'm taking everything I said about him at the end of Yvonne's story. I'm taking it back. I don't want him on the platform. Period. Yeah, I mean, Nancy, maybe it would have gone further if there weren't other girls in the room. We don't know. We don't know. But he emotionally abused her. He treated her like she was the side chick. And then in front of people, you have the balls to open her legs and put your head in her crotch. And in front of these people, you take her ankle and put it on your groin. You have the balls to do that, dude. No. I take everything I said about you back. I don't want you on the platform. Period. And I hope to God there's not other stories out there. I do, because I don't want to see women going through this. I don't. But if there are, and I find out about them, you're going to get your own playlist, because I'm going to cover every single one of them one by one if there are any more. Period.
I told guys, I told girls, no one was surprised. And I'm just like, Okay, cool. Then I guess that's that. I don't know.
They shut her down. Oh, thank you, Tank. I appreciate it.
Oh, like, I don't know. I'm over it now, but that upset me for like a long time. I talked to Fed about this on our call yesterday, and he said that he doesn't remember the situation, but he did apologize if it did happen. I
am so sick of hearing it. I am so sick of hearing that Fed doesn't remember anything. He never remembers anything. Oh, TCS? Absolutely, you are right. TCS says you won't be the only one. Every big commentator will. Yep. And I'll be right with them doing it. I'll be there right with him. But he never remembers what he does. It's amazing. It's amazing.
pretty much shut myself off from bed at this point. But it was really weird. I was in this weird limbo of really craving his attention still, but feeling very insignificant, feeling very ashamed of myself, feeling like my character was broken throughout the years. Not blaming him for that. That's just what I felt at the time. Like, ironically, he was one of the people who would reach out to me, telling me, like, Kimmy, you're isolating yourself. You have to hang out with us more.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, that's a survivor. That's a survivor, ladies and gentlemen, right there.
I don't blame Fed for isolating me. Like, I don't blame him. I think he had part of it. I think he made things kind of weird, really weird, but like, anyway, I just thought it was pretty troll, like, looking back now. One time at a rave, Fed told me, okay, because we rave a lot, right? So I forgot when this rave was. Probably like, I want to say it was like last EDC. No, it wasn't. I forgot. Okay, so at a rave, after this happened, Fed told me, and I quote, he told me, I'm happy we can still be chill after everything that happened between us.
That means he remembers. That means he remembered.
And up until now, Fed and I never talked about anything that happened between us. So when he told me that at a rave, I had no freaking idea what he was talking about. I had a vague idea of what he could have been talking about, but I was so confused in the moment, and I was just like, yeah, me too. And he never really explained. He never explained further. So yesterday so for the past few months I've been going to therapy every Monday, just because, I think it's been really helping me and so. And I told her about the situation, and I basically asked if I was overthinking things, because when I was recollecting a lot of things that happened, I couldn't help but think there were small things that happened. So I spoke to my therapist about it, and what she said was that what makes a behavior problematic is seeing the frequency of how much it happens.
Let's talk about that frequency with Fedmyster. Let's talk about that frequency. You have Lily, which I didn't do her story because she retracted it, but there's still a video. There's Yvonne, and there's Kimmy. And from what I heard, there was actually several other girls, but they haven't come out, so you obviously can't speculate on people who haven't come out, so that would be wrong to do. But let's talk about the frequency. Let's talk about the frequency. He sure did frequently do some stupid shit, didn't he? You would almost think that's part of who he is, drunk or not.
And once you said that, I'm like, okay, yeah, these things happened a lot. In a way, I feel like I let myself down. I wish I was aware of this behavior so I could have called it out and prevented it from happening earlier. Had I trusted myself?
So she's blaming herself. That right there is survivor. Maybe King Quinn. I don't know. She from what I hear, she did it on her own free will. To be honest, that's why I never covered it. But if he forgets and they keep quiet, then it never happened. That's what he was hoping anyway. Exactly. And this one, I mean, this story was swept under the rug. How much you want to bet that Twitch's execs and offline TV cast proper were prepping for Fed to make a return sometime at the beginning of next year? That docu leak ruined the fuck out of that. Dude, right? And then the 5,000 Google Docs after? Yes. Yes, you're all right. Yeah, I did too, TCS. I did too. I mean, I understand where she is blaming herself. It's just sad that, because I know what it's like to be put into a position to blame yourself when it's really not your fault, she's doing that. And it's so sad. It's sad to see.
And held Fed to the same standard as other guys in my life, I feel like I really would have been able to call out this behavior. In a way, we created.
Quinn, I am so sorry that happened to you. I am so sorry that happened to you, Quinn. It wasn't your fault. I am so sorry.
This behavior. I think we should have done more to stop him instead of enabling it. The internet and all of us saw Fed as this amazingly great person and friend. There's no doubt in my mind and in my heart that part of him is still there. He's done countless charitable things that he was glorified for over these past years. However, I still believe he needs to take accountability for what he's done. And going on from that, it'd also be hypocritical for me to not also take accountability. In the future, I'm going to make a better attempt in calling people out in the moment. Like, I want to make a better attempt. The Kimmy in high school called out guys fearlessly. Not only guys, girls. The Kimmy in high school called out bullshit fearlessly. And I just don't know where she went right now. But I'm starting to think I'm finding her again. I want to make a bet. This is hard for me to say because I think it's a big claim, but I really want to try to help make a better attempt in calling out people in the moment. I want to hold the people I choose to have in my life to a higher standard, so people, women in particular, feel more safe in my friend circle. Fed and I had, just to give you guys some closure, Fed and I had a call last night, and it was quite short. I was able to say what I wanted to, and he was incredibly apologetic. But I ultimately told him that I need some distance from him, but I'm truly rooting for his growth. Well, that was, and that's what that.
All right. So that's Kimmy's story. Now, there's this little gem. Okay. Sorry to let y'all know this person who recorded, they do some stupid stuff, but you'll see what happened. All right. So Kimmy's right here. Fed is right here. All right. Watch this. Outward, like that, in front of everybody. I tried to move. High school, the months of fighting, he moved and nothing being done. I snapped and hit him in the face with a textbook. He was popular and tried to say I baited him to do it. I got labeled as an overdramatic sense of, yeah, it's sad. It's sad. unfortunately, that's what happens when women try to stick up for themselves. We're over dramatic. We're over dramatic. So yeah, in front of the cameras and everybody, and this doesn't have any sound. That's why there's no sound with it. He literally grabs her ass. Okay. Now, here's this.
Before we begin.
Alright, this was put up June 28, 2020. This is before her statement.
Fedmyster has been removed from the offline TV house.
Sorry for the robot voice, but that's how the video is.
Following clips shows Fed doing things that look quite normal, but after this situation it gives it a whole different meaning.
Okay, we saw that.
Oh, wait. Yeah, no, listen, look. No, listen, look. No, see. Oh.
Consent with a K, motherfucker.
No, seriously, look.
Okay, but I don't want him.
I'm all yours.
No, I don't.
There's Yvonne.
I don't want him.
He doesn't eat burgers. Give me this. What? Why are you exaggerating? It's just a hug, dude. You don't want to hug me?
The people shown were quite literally uncomfortable with Fed's approach, but he persists to bother them anyways. This here is Yuli's take on the current situation. Pokimane finally appears to make light of the situation by replying to Yuli's tweet with her own thoughts.
And that's what that's when Pokimane gets involved. But yeah, that is Kimmy's story. And what pisses me off about it is it literally got shoved under a rug. Swept right under a rug. And it bothers me. It really, really, really bothers me. This story was so much more worse than the others. People literally changed their mind about Fed. Oh, the guy was just shooting his shot. It was obviously okay. He laid in the bed all the time. He wasn't touching her boobs, her butt, or her vagina. Now you got it. Let me tell you something. There is no reason for putting your hand in a woman's shirt. There is no reason to even touch another person. And I'm talking about, listen, men to women to men also. There's no reason to put a hand on a waist. There's no reason for that. None. If you can't shoot your shot verbally, then maybe you need a good new vocabulary. If you're going to shoot your shot physically, and you can't do it verbally, you need new vocabulary. I'm sorry. TCS, everything I showed, I will have links in the description when we're done. So I will, when I go to link, well, I'll let you know when they're linked and everything. So I got you, TCS, no problem. But I mean, Chelsea says, there's definitely something wrong with someone when they're constantly touching on other people like that. Exactly. Exactly. And I'm still wondering why this story was swept under the rug. I don't get it. Tank says, I'm thinking there's going to be a lawsuit before the end of this. I bet there's a lawyer right now foaming at the mouth to get in on a civil suit. Yeah, probably. As we learned in kindergarten, keep your hands to yourself. Exactly. Another statement that has been said, and I've seen people say it, is, you know, if they didn't say anything, they can't read their minds. And if you can't read their minds, don't touch them. I mean, it's really easy not to touch. Listen, let me tell you something, okay? Learn the skill of a vocabulary. There are some smooth dudes out there that they don't even have to touch a woman before she jumps all over him because of what comes out of his mouth. Learn a vocabulary. Seriously. And don't be sexually harassing vocally. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, though, if you're going to shoot your shot verbally. Something tells me the commentary boys will pin the blame harder on Pokemon. No, actually, Cindy, once this story came out, they pinned it on Fed. I have to honestly admit that. Even Augie made a video, and he was like, my thoughts on Fed. It was like his opening statement was like, my thoughts on Fedmyster has changed. And Tipster came out with a video about it. He's like, whoa, hold on, dude. Hold on, dude. So I have to actually, yeah, I have to. Well, I'm going to put Tipster's, Tipster will be the one that I put the video in the description. Yeah, they really did, Cindy. I have to admit it. And you know I don't like Augie because, you know, he got butt hurt and blocked me. But, no, he changed. It was like the first, one of the first several lines in his video. He literally said something like, you know, my thoughts on Fedmyster has changed, or my opinions about Fed has changed, or something like that. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Yeah, please don't say your hair is sufficient, want to smash. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Some states have affirmative consent laws. There has to be an explicit yes, or it is assumed and considered a no. Makes total sense. Makes total sense. And Nancy made a good point. Body language is easy to read. If they tense up, that's not a good sign. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tank, you crazy. I thought Vic was the crazy one in here. But that is that. And that was that story. I just thought it was important to put out there, and I feel like I wanted to be on the right side of this Fedmyster story. And again, I don't give a shit about the Fedmyster Pokemon story. I don't give a shit about that story. That story I don't care about. Yvonne's story I cared about, and Kimmy's story I cared about, because to me, those stories are more important. Doesn't make him less misogynistic. Sometimes when you can't argue anymore, you have to take the L. So I'm giving more time before I consider my... I mean, that's fine, Cindy. I'm not saying that he's not misogynistic. He even admits he does misogynistic jokes and stuff like that. That's fine. I'm not saying I like Augie. I'm giving you the simple fact that he changed his mind because of this story. I'm not saying that I like Augie. I'm not saying that I completely changed my mind about Augie. The only thing I'm telling you is the simple fact that he changed his mind about Fed. That's it. Whether I like someone or not, I'm still going to put out the fact on them. I'm not one of those that's going to like feed somebody misinformation just because I don't like that person. I'm not like that. Y'all know I don't like Keemstar, but when he's right, I'll say that he's right. I can't help it. I have to be truthful. If I agree with him on something, I agree. When I disagree on something, I'll retweet him and tell him to shut the fuck up. I mean, it's simple. It's simple math with me. Poppy Blanco is nuts. Oh, no, Cindy, you didn't come off like that. No, I was just, I felt like maybe if like somebody was listening or I wanted to clarify it, you know. I'm not saying people have to like or dislike Augie. I don't care, all right? Because I still watch his channel. I still watch what he has to say. Because it's... I always like to see different opinions about different issues. And sometimes I agree with Augie in them. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes there's even occasions where I agree with Augie, not Diorio, or I'll agree with Tipster and not Augie, or I agree with Augie and not Tipster. That's why I watch all of them. I like to hear different points of view about everything. No, you're fine, Cindy. Oh, yeah, no, I get you, girl. I get you. Found it and tweeted with Nick, Augie, Swan, and... Oh, so you're taking... Oh. Well, good job, TCS. Yeah. Yeah. It's a thing. It's... Y'all know how I feel. No need to go over it right now. But you know how I feel. Just saying. Yeah, Devin. That's exactly what I do. I like to see all sides of a story. I don't believe in being in an echo chamber, so I like to hear everyone's different sides, whether I agree with it or not. Oh, dear God. Well, Augie's not going to see it. And neither is John Swan, because John Swan blocked me too. Which I don't know why John Swan blocked me. I never argued with him. Oh, TCS, you're awesome. Is Whoop Dad in here? What's up, Whoop Dad? You're awesome, TCS. Side note, H3H3 treated a new Frenemies episode tomorrow. I'm done. Okay, that's it. We ending this now. We ending it. That's it. Drama Parody done screwed it up. I'm done. I'm done. TCS, I love you. Oh, you're my internet child. I love you. I do. For TCS, right there. Oh, wait, no. I learned how to do the Korean heart. There you go. Double hearts for TCS. LOL, I think it's because you're friends with me. Cindy, I will always be friends with you. I don't care what anybody say. And if they block me for being friends with you, well, you know what? They're going to go, if they're a YouTuber, they're going to go on my wall of fame. And I hope they know that they're going to be on the same wall with Real Screen News. Okay? So, and I'm going to make sure I put Augie, Real Stream News, and John Swan. All three in a row. I ain't worried about it. What did Drama Parody do? Oh, yeah. Telling me about a new... Are they really having a new Frenemies? Are you serious? I can't remember if H3H3 blocked me or not. I don't think he did. Just a number. Did I say you were doing a story on BX Beast? Or maybe I heard you wrong. I thought you said it a few weeks ago. Yes, just a number. I will be actually doing a series of videos on BX Beast Boy. Actually, I think I'm doing 4? I think I have mapped out 4 videos on him. Why? What's up? Yeah, that's not going to start till the new year, though. And they're not going to be back-to-back either. Yep. I am starting that after it might be mid-January when I start it, but it's gonna be like once a week because I can't do all that negativity back to back to back to back. Yes, I have that, by the way. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, one of his spam DMs. He's known for that. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all. What am I starting, Quinn? I am starting we're going to be discussing BX Beast Boy. 3 or 4 videos. I can't remember how many I have mapped out. I haven't completely finished mapping it out yet. I need to actually... I got the storyboard made for one. I started the storyboard on the second one. Yep. Alright, guys. Well, I will talk to y'all. Okay, I don't know what happened. Alright, sorry about that. I'm still here. Hi. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later, and... Why is no one covering real stream news? Ugh. Maybe one day. No, I'm here. It was a mistake. Listen, it's not a stream of mine unless I have a technical difficulty. Y'all should know this by now. Damn it, I love y'all. And remember, keep that shit real. Peace.